Hello!
Hello, everybody. This is Hungry Cast.
It's Hungercast.
Oh Lord. So this is just a low energy day. We'll be rating some of the Blackbeard pirates today. Thanks to a commenter, I forgot your name. I apologize, but you've wanted this video for a while, so I made like a big special thing for you. I hope you like it.
If you're watching on YouTube, you probably see it right there.
Yeah, you see it right now. I hope this isn't a bad thing. So yeah.
Please age well. Please age well.
Please age well. But we can always do this again if more characters are added. We're on tierlist.com, and we'll be rating the Blackbeard pirates based on what we know about them in the story. We'll talk about who we think they're going to fight, etc., etc. So, first of all, Teachers in S. Is that...
I mean, in my professional opinion, every Blackbeard pirate is equally wonderful and lovely.
True.
We need to address the elephant in the room, and the fact that every single one of the Blackbeard pirates exude massive amounts of kenography. So we can't compare them to the rest of the cast.
Right, the ilk.
We cannot compare the absolute god tier that is all of the Blackbeard pirates to something similar as to like a Straw Hat tier list.
Right.
Where there are some god tier Straw Hats, and then there are some my god, I wish you weren't part of the story Straw Hats, not mentioning any names, but
Jimbei! But yes.
Speaking of future Blackbeard pirates. But you're like, that would redeem his character in my eyes.
I'd be so satisfied. I'd be over the moon. Like, oh yeah, this feels good.
But we're gonna try to be, what's the word?
Fair.
Objective isn't really a word, because obviously a tier list is going to be based off of, our feelings on the characters, but
true.
We're gonna try to be mean.
Yeah. And as objective as this type of thing would allow, which is not at all, but we're gonna kind of go off of things that have happened, and I guess things that will happen is kind of subjective. Whatever, you get it.
Yes. So I feel like what we should do is put them all on S.
Okay.
And then we'll rank them down as we go along.
All right.
We'll see who survives. S's first survive. We get it out of the way. They're all S. They're all perfect in every single conceivable way. I love them all equally as my children.
The horse is my favorite. Okay. So
we'll talk about Stronger when we get to him. So Teach
is immaculate. He's so handsome. That's subjective, but
he's a very handsome boy. He came. I mean, like, dude, when he shows up for the first time after the time skip.
Yeah.
And he is just dripped out of his mind. He's got the big, long beards, the guns going all over him. Like, the updated design looks like just like natural evolution of him. He's got women just draped all over him. He is in control.
3 blickies, his best bottle of gin. He's immaculate. He really is.
He's amazing. As a Yonko, I love him.
I love that he's sloppy.
Yeah, because he's not the kind of It's hard to even think about nonsense, but because when we first started establishing the idea of an Emperor of the Sea, when we first started establishing Yonko, the first thing that we got was obviously Whitebeard. Technically, the first one was Shanks, but whatever. But the first idea of a Yonko was Whitebeard, right?
Yeah, true. Fair.
And Whitebeard, on his deathbed, took on the entirety of the Marines by himself.
Yes.
He exuded power, he exuded influence, he had a huge crew, he had tactics, he had guile, he had style, he had power, he had everything that you could possibly want. Here was a man as it were, with Whitebeard. And as we continue through the series, we get more ideas of the picturesque ideal of an emperor of the sea, of the freest pirates in the world, the most powerful, influential people on the planet, right?
Yes.
That being Big Mom and Kaido.
Right.
These two monstrous, invincible, crazy individuals. And then we start to deviate from that idea.
Yes.
Because after that, now we have Luffy, Buggy, and Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Kind of as like a different style of Yonko. Because they're not exactly monsters. They are, but they're not. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, they have a more of a human element to them.
Yeah.
Some of them are a bit more human than others. Like, I'd say Buggy's the most human out of all of them.
Which just makes him the most supernatural. But we love Buggy here.
This is Buggy House.
I will follow that man to my death. But we have more human Yonkos because they're not like ideas anymore.
Yeah.
So we get to see Teach go in. He still exudes influence, power, the idea of an emperor of the sea, but he also can fall on his face. And I think that's interesting. A different turn, a different direction for Yonko. Especially when you consider Shanks as kind of the bridge between them all.
Shanks is perfect.
He's too perfect. That's why I don't like him.
I hate that character, bro.
I love Shanks. I hate the idea of Shanks.
Exactly. I love funny drunk dad in the bar. That's great. Resident superhero is awful. Poor kid. Poor kid. Poor kid. That was unnecessary. But
he had to take the atheism slash.
Yeah. But I love Blackbeard. I think since we saw him in Jaya, it's just been like this very interesting approach to his character. He brings a very interesting elements to the narrative. This whole idea of the what did he say? The dreams of pirates will never end, yet he himself is a man who cannot dream because he does not sleep. Like, that's interesting in itself.
The man had 2 scenes in Jaya. 2. And to this day, he still represents one of the core philosophies of One Piece as a whole.
Exactly.
Immaculate. That is strength. That is power. Kaido needed 150 chapters. Teach needed 2 scenes.
Matter of fact,
Teach needed like 5 panels to establish himself.
The only other like old Yonko I would say that's comparable to Teach, and you really feel like they are a natural force. I can't even say Whitebeard. Whitebeard's a mixed bag.
Whitebeard's a mixed bag because he was literally dying.
Yeah. Big Mom feels like that to me though, because Big Mom, she shows up on the scene, you immediately get it.
Yeah.
She's
like,
this ridiculous.
Big Mom and Kaido are monsters. They're enigmas.
Yes.
They can't be human. They can't be anything of this earth. They're ideas.
But even like, I talk about this in the video, and this is kind of disgusting considering the context now. When he captures Bonnie, right?
And should we push him down to A for assault?
They make a P tier for problematic.
Well, they'll all be on that one.
Oh, true. But like, regardless of the nature of the situation, what's interesting is that he always has his mind on political gain after he's reached the top of the pirate world. Because I guess the point there is that he wanted to have a queen to be more official.
Yeah.
So that's just an interesting part of his character, that even though he's been a pirate for years and years and years, he has this political air about him. He's the only pirate we've seen that actually wants to be a part of the world government.
I don't even think that was the whole case with Bonnie. Like, when we see Blackbeard, when he's in Hachinosu, pretty much any time that we see him, he's always just like constantly surrounded and being draped over by women of various stature and just all the time.
That's true.
The man just likes to pull.
I mean, fair. And well, that's why he's down to B. No. I kid. But he's a very interesting character. And then the whole darkness fruit, that's a whole thing unto itself. We don't know
we have no clue what's going on with that fruit to this day.
It's so fascinating. It's
established 15 years ago. We have no idea what it is.
Oh, the mystery is fascinating. And then, like, now he has a whole lineage thing, which that could be a whole different thing, too.
I mean, you could expect a devil fruit to act in weird ways.
True.
Until Nika happened.
Yeah.
Because, like, you'd be like, okay, this is a fruit. Like, the Gum fruit acted in every way like a paramecia.
Yes.
With, like, 2 exceptions. That being Gear 3rd.
Yeah.
Right?
Gear 3rd, I mean, you could say Snake Man as well because of what Kato says. But
exactly. Like a couple of exceptions to be like, well, this doesn't react in the same way as other paramecias. And then we reveal it's because it's not a paramecia. It's a mythical Zoan that gives him Toon Force powers.
Yes.
Anytime before that, you could just be like, that's a weird Logia, and that would be the end of the conversation with Blackbeard. Now we have to ask the question.
I hope it's not. I hope it's the weirdest Logia, because you can't do that twice. Oh, I'll be in shambles.
I mean, if you were gonna do it twice, it would be the protagonist and his perfect foil.
Yeah, I hate it, though. I ain't gonna lie.
It would be the dawn and the dusk, the sun and the moon, night and day. It would be some nonsense like that.
And like, funny that you would say night, because the darkness could just be the embodiment of night. I mean, he says it's gravitation, but still, it could still just be night.
And especially now that Oda could just make up gods, like, it's not anything that we even have to, like, assign to myths of our world.
Right.
There might be more slave lore that we don't know about. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fair. Maybe we'll get Kuma Part 2. Maybe Clap will come back and be like, hey, have I told you about Aiken, Nika, but backwards? And he's big mean Nightman. Ah!
Yeah,
and like, anything is possible now.
Yeah, which makes me slightly scared and a little hungry. And I, like Blackbeard, love cherry pie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Blackbeard's an S. Very good.
Yeah, great character.
Now, do you want to go down the list from him, or just want to skip around? Because it's up to you, brother.
I mean, we could talk about Avala Pizarro.
I love him.
I was ready to put Avala Pizarro on D tier.
Really?
I was ready to be like, this character ain't done nothing. He is worthless. He's terrible. Like, he's not even part of the story. I can't even think of a single thing that this character has ever done. And then Hachinosu happened. And all of a sudden, he's got the coolest devil fruits.
The most powerful thing in the series. Oh my god, he makes the skull talk. Yes, yes.
Like, this is the kind of cartoon shenanigans that I like.
Me too.
Like, he makes the island talk. That's cute. I love that.
Amazing.
Outside of his devil fruit, can you name a single thing about this character?
Can I lie?
Go for it.
You see, makes cat noise.
How exciting.
Oh no! Okay, so let's see. How about B?
I'd put him in C tier.
All right, fair.
If we're gonna be mean about it.
If we're gonna be mean about it, he's in C.
He is in the C tier of S tier characters.
Because power's not enough.
Power's not enough. He's got the coolest devil fruit. But Katakuri also had the coolest devil fruit. But what makes him great is his story.
Yes, everything about him.
His dreams, his story, his character, his dialogue, his love for his family, his glorious Marienda that I love so much I broke my thumb trying to emulate. The power. So, like, a devil fruit is one thing. I love the gags. I can't wait to see more of Valo Pizarro.
Yes.
I would have liked to see more of Valo Pizarro by now.
Yeah.
But we haven't. So I certainly hope that him jobbing to Kobe is not the end of his story.
I hope not either. I hope he jobs to Robin, but go on.
Yeah, it's like, who's he gonna fight? Is it Robin? Is it Frankie? Is it a mix between the two?
Ooh.
I still think that the Blackbeard fights, if we get 1v1s against Blackbeard, which definitely feels like the case, right?
Yes.
I would really like them to be duo fights.
I like the idea of duo.
I would love that idea so much. Like, could you imagine a world where you have Zoro and Sanji? The crux of their battle is that they have to figure out a way to work together. The gags would be immaculate. We could bring everything back to
Long Ring Long Land.
Exactly.
Yes.
And it could be a full culmination of their entire journey together, right?
That's good.
As they fight off two characters that just happen to work perfectly together.
Which, in that, I mean, Shiryu's a Zoro opponent. I don't know who Sanji's fighting. That's up in the air for me.
I mean, it's probably Beer Man, if I had to guess.
That's what I always go towards. Speaking of which, he's an A.
Which one?
Vasco shot.
Vasco?
Yeah.
Vasco's kind of weird, man.
Because I like the implications of his story.
A for assault!
Yeah, oh, right. That's right. That he is problematic.
He is very problematic, but I kind of like that for him. He makes it work, if that makes sense.
What I like about him is that when we see him in Marineford, he's this jolly drunk guy, right? That remains the case forever. Even when we have the assault of Amazon Lily.
Yeah.
Then we get to Hachinosu and the whole Rescue Kobe mission. His character has completely changed.
Yeah.
He is sadistic. He's grinning at the camera. He's in full jester garb. The fruit has messed him up in some way, shape, or form. I love that. I love that he's become a killer clown from outer space.
That's fair. Like, and a lot of this stuff is, like, implied. You don't even have to really put that on the page. You could just imply that kind of stuff. Because what happens if you just stay drunk for 2 years?
2 years.
Bad things.
And you're constantly drinking, yet you can't get the buzz. That because you are the buzz. That's... Oh, my God. He is in a nightmare, and I love that.
He is in a nightmare, and he will make that your problem.
Yes.
That's why he's so problematic, because he is your drunk uncle.
Exactly. And he's also the only Blackbeard pirate, I think, who is actually food-themed.
And he scares me, and I don't like him.
Yeah,
A tier.
Yeah. Speaking about dinner,
I wonder what's for dinner.
I want his big hamshake, by the way. That's great.
The horse stays.
Really?
The horse stays.
You know, I want to fight you, but I don't have the will to.
We've gone from P for problematic to P for Pegasus, baby.
I love Stronger so much.
S is not for S tier. S is for Stronger.
S is for Stronger.
I love the moment that we get a human having the human mythical fruit. Well, that's not true, because we had one of those all the way back in Marineford, but...
It's in Goku, but still. This is the first time an animal has an animal fruit. That's the same animal, and it's crazy.
Amazing. Immaculate.
I can't...
He's there exclusively for the meme. I don't care.
I hope he's like the strongest Blackbeard pirate.
I would love Stronger to have the most Dorikis.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine if he was outlifting Burgess?
I can't wait.
Could you imagine if his feats of strength were better than... He's got at least 2 horsepower, man.
Yeah. No doubt. I can't wait for Chopper to meet him when we find out that he's a sadistic serial killer.
See, now this is also why I feel like we have to have 2-on-2s. Because Chopper has to fight Stronger and Doc.
Doc, yeah.
We're not separating Doc, Q, and Stronger, are we?
No, because, like, from the moment he's revealed to have Dough Fruit, that went out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Which would be a really cool fight between... because Usopp has to fight the other sniper.
It could be... Well, you know what? The Straw Hats, we don't know if they're complete yet. We'll have to wait and see, because, I mean, Yamato would be a good pairing. Any other Zoan would be a good pairing.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on who joins. If it's Bonnie, I could see that, because Bonnie and Doc Q are both kind of broken.
I mean, Chopper has to fight Stronger.
Yeah.
Chopper has to fight Stronger because Chopper is the only one who can speak animal.
Yes.
So Chopper will be able to translate.
Yeah.
So that we can have an actual dialogue in this fight.
Yeah.
Chopper and Stronger have to fight. Chopper also has to fight Doc.
Yes.
Doc is the antithesis to what Chopper is trying to be.
Exactly, because he is all diseases, and Chopper wants to cure all diseases. So
yes.
It makes it's rhymes, it's poetry.
It would also be very funny if, I don't know, let's just say Sanji, for instance.
Yeah.
Sanji keeps getting hit with all these diseases. And is buckling and folding and twisting into knots from all this. And Chopper is healing as fast as he can. There's a lot of gag potential there.
Brook is also a good suggestion because, I mean...
because he can't get sick! Oh!
And then we have a 4 Horsemen reference because a skeleton is usually riding the pale horse, which is death.
True!
Oh, yeah, then, I mean, death versus the dying is very funny. But yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have...
And I can't see a better matchup for Brook either, except maybe Aokiji if we really wanted to do that?
I mean... We might get to him next.
If we want to talk about Kuzan,
Kuzan is.
Or do we want to talk about Doc since we're on Stronger?
Okay, we'll talk about Doc. That's fair. I love Doc.
I love Doc. He doesn't breach B.
He's B because thank you for the funny female law meme. I like that immensely. But
Doc is the Mendoza line of the Blackbeard pirates. He is perfectly average in every conceivable way.
He's interesting because he's had the highest bounty from like the starting lineup because it's like 72 million or something like that.
Yeah.
But like that's an interesting point. It doesn't go anywhere. But yeah, he's in the middle.
I like his introduction a lot. I like would you like an apple, son? No, those are bombs. You wanted it yours, my friend.
We are going with the Zelda memes today. Good stuff.
But like that in itself is very funny.
It is.
But he hasn't really accomplished too much, I guess.
Yeah.
For how long he's been in the story. And not in like a Lafitte way where it's like cool and interesting how little we know about them.
True.
Like I feel like we know everything that we're gonna need to know about Doc. We might get some backstory stuff, be like, this is why I decided disease was the best way. But that's, like, it.
Yeah.
Like, we might find out, hey, I gave Hero Look that ancient disease, and he had to go and see the cherry blossoms to unlock his hockey to get rid of it.
Oh Lord.
If they do that retroactively, I am going to do some unspeakable things.
That podcast episode is just gonna be a bunch of screaming, ain't it?
Devon is A for allegedly.
No! I will fight. No! I have to fight for baby girl.
But Katarina Devon.
I love her.
Very cool introduction. Killing A for Absalom.
Who is problematic and deserved to die.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow. But
holy smokes. Like, Absalom got a little bit too much. Speaking of things we can't put on the podcast.
I mean, both of
Absalom.
them? Really? Assaulted both of the women. Awful. And then a woman assaults him. Good.
Amazing.
But, yeah, I like her. I like that she hates beautiful women because she's, not 100% in the face department. I mean, if you're...
Is that something that has been on the screen, or was that like an SBS?
That technically has been on the screen and an SBS.
Okay.
Because she's like, ooh, Boa Hancock, I can't wait to rip your pretty face off.
Okay.
So, like...
It's been implied, but it was definitely said in the SBS.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, she's interesting in that way. We don't know what Crescent Moon Hunter means. But, like, she's
got a cool power. She's had a presence on screen.
She has a personality. What do we
I
think?
still think that she doesn't leave A, but if you want to keep her in S,
no,
go nuts. You have the mouse.
I have to be diplomatic. Diplomacy.
I don't think that she's any better than Vasco.
That's fair. Burgess goes in D.
The worst one.
I like that he makes the Revolutionary Army seem wholly incompetent, because you know how big that man is?
My man sailed a dinghy and found the Revolutionary Army base.
How? How? It makes everyone look terrible. How? He's like 18 feet tall and like as wide as 3 minivans. How?
You could hear his theme music an island away. I love Burgess, but I haven't read Dressrosa long enough to really give him a competent defense.
I like that he's a cyborg now. I think that's cool. I like that he's Randy Savage. I think that's great.
I need more screen time with him.
I need a whole lot. The strong fruit has a lot of interesting implications in a world in which super strength gives you everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can just use sick power stuff if you are strong enough. But, like, he hasn't done any of that. So, I don't know.
We've seen him throw a rock. He's got the same screen presence as Avalo Pizarro without the funny aspect of it.
He is the first helmsman in the series. That's a cool note.
That's very funny. So he will fight Jinbei and not Frankie, and that makes me so sad.
Which is why certain characters should die, because if he fights Jinbei, he will lose immediately.
Yeah. If he fights Frankie, it would be literally the coolest thing that's ever happened, which is why we need duos. Yes. Jinbei and Frankie hanging out, baby!
I hope, since Egghead's over, please give him character if you're going to use him, Oda, because I'm losing faith. I've been losing faith for 10 years. But D. D for Randy Savage, because Randy has a D in it.
D for his defense attorney is not very good.
Exactly. Well, from the worst to the best, Kuzan's an S. I will hear no argument.
It's Kuzan, baby.
I love this man.
Who on earth is fighting Kuzan?
I want to say Brooke, but I don't know. Will it be Sanji?
Fire versus ice?
Could be Yamato if she does join, but that's not official.
I mean, I guess if we put, like... If we did the duos, we had Kuzan and Shiryu working together.
Ooh.
That would be kind of nuts.
we'll get to Shiryu, but like that's an interesting idea because he's already worked with Van Auger, which was clean.
Yeah.
I will just say this: it's amazing to me that Oda has written the best Marine character and he has defected.
The best Marine character is a pirate.
Yes.
Especially after what we've just done to Kobe. And by retrospect, Smoker.
Yeah, because
they are the best Marines.
Yes.
Like, Garp had a really good moment. I like Tashigi a lot.
Me too.
Rocinante is cool.
Bruce is growing on me real big.
Bruce is good. None of them are Smoker.
None of them are Smoker.
None of them are Alabasta Smoker.
Oh man, Smoker's so cool. Even Logtown Smoker, like the danger. Oh,
the first actual threat in the series.
You can't do anything to him. It's so cool. And then the first user of Sea Stone in the series using it as a weapon. It's so... Oh!
The first user of Sea Stone, and he found a way to do it despite the fact that he is a Logia user.
Yes.
That's crazy.
It's so cool. Having Luffy in duress...
Smoker does not leave S rank.
Yes.
When he defects and becomes a Blackbeard pirate.
If Smoker joins Crossgo or anything else, he have to make a new tier above S rank.
Mm-hmm.
If he becomes anything other than a Marine, I have to put him up because his story relevance will just shoot up. Because right now it's the Kobe show. Yeah,
like in terms of Marines, it's just Kobe, Groose, Helmeppo, and Hibari, I guess.
Hibari, and then a Kujaku, and I guess Tashigi, because Tashigi's joining Sword if she's not one member already. Come on now, I can't. It is
what is Tashigi gonna do for the rest of the story?
I don't know.
What could Tashigi possibly accomplish in the rest of the story?
Maybe grow because she's not around Smoker, so I don't
hang out. What is one feat Tashigi has?
None.
She's been part of the story for 20 years.
20 years. I guess hang out with X-Dray because he is also a sword.
Yeah.
Jesus. I don't know. But no, Kuzan's the best. Kuzan's probably like first commander, the actual first commander. There's no one else.
Kuzan I could see being the Sanji fight.
It'll be cool.
Just because fire versus ice, kind of dynamic. I'm trying to think of like character stuff that they could clash about.
Because
Sanji usually fights guys that are like diametrically opposed to him in like ideology.
But I mean, in terms of physicality, they are because one has both his legs, one is missing a leg. A leg of ice versus a leg of fire. But
he reminds me of the old man's kicks.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just trying to think of like ideology wise.
Well,
because like all of Sanji's opponents are like
reflections of him.
Reflections of him. Queen, obviously, like Jabra being a funny, duplicitous man, and Sanji being an honorable guy.
Yeah. Wazani using food as a weapon, literally food fighting, having no respect for his craft.
Yeah.
Well,
Mr. 2, also duplicitous. But Sanji's also kind of duplicitous, but in a cool way, I guess.
Kuzan did make that remark about Nami upon meeting her for the first time. I don't know if that goes anywhere.
I don't know. That's the thing, though. It's like, usually it's like, Sanji likes fighting like scummy kind of guys.
Yeah.
And Kuzan's not really that.
I guess both of them, in a way, are trying to make the world their own under weird means, maybe?
Like, because you think about, like, a Sanji fight, right?
Yeah.
He usually rolls up, the villain says something terrible, he's like, I can't forgive that. and he says a cool one-liner, revs up his big fire leg, and goes, "Hockey smash! Ha!" Like that's like every Sanji fight. Could you see that happening with Kuzan?
No, because it's like it's weird because Kuzan would just walk up and say, "You're in the way," and freeze him.
Like I could see that happening with like Devon or Burgess, even someone like Avalo Pizarro.
Yeah,
Kuzan?
Because Kuzan barely speaks.
Like that's why I was thinking like he'd have the thing with Vasco's shot, because Vasco also would interact interestingly with fire, and Vasco is like,
And then Vasco's actually a reflection of Sanji because he's like, "You want to be the gentleman, that's fine, but I want to get it anywhere I can." And that's like, oh no.
Vasco is a reflection of Sanji's deep hidden perverse thoughts.
And then
come to light.
Oh, and also they both have addictions.
Yeah.
Because one is smoking, one is drinking.
Yeah, like there's a lot of parallels between Vasco and Sanji.
Yeah, and then they're the embodiments of those vices because Sanji could.
But when we look at this as a shonen battle manga, who else fights Kuzan?
I guess Brook, bruh. I like the idea.
Is it Jinbei?
Could you imagine?
Fishman Karate versus Cold Man?
Which that's a fight he should actually lose. Like Jinbei should lose, but he won't.
Yeah, it's like who is diametrically opposed to Kuzan?
Because that's the only thing. Because both of them have betrayed the world government.
Yeah, like the only thing that you could really see is like the parallel between him and Robin. Yeah. Do you think Robin's fighting Kuzan?
No.
No.
No. I guess it's Jinbei, depending on where if Jinbei makes it, which we'll see. Man. But yeah, Kuzan, great character. We love him here.
Who do we mix Kuzan with if this is duos, though?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Honestly, it's like, wouldn't you have to mix him with Blackbeard?
That's the thing, though, because it would make sense because to me, because of the scene we are getting in the anime tomorrow, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's him and Shiryu that kind of get the preamble.
Yeah. Like, obviously, with Hachinosu, we have directly set up Blackbeard, Kuzan, and Shiryu as the big three.
Exactly.
That is their monster trio.
Yes, it is.
Like, maybe Lafitte could fit somewhere in there. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, he's a strong, like, 4th or 5th because there is, like, history about him. But then again,
we don't know anything about Lafitte, though, is the whole thing. So he might end up being something like that, but, like, in terms of, like, shonen battle manga, this is their monster trio.
Yeah, because there was time taken out to show on screen, like, here's a government goon who got his freedom because of Blackbeard. We see him join in real time.
Yeah.
With Kuzan. So, like...
So, Kuzan is gonna have... Like, Luffy's gonna have beef with Kuzan.
Yes.
Because Kuzan killed his grandpa.
And he is the reason why Gear 2nd was invented.
Yeah.
So, like... Yeah.
But who do we fight?
I don't see.
Is it Luffy and Jinbei hanging out fighting Kuzan and Blackbeard?
Okay.
What a strange fight that would be.
Hey, everyone, listen. If that ever happened, how angry I would be. If Jinbei actually
the Blackbeard fight,
the actual clearance to get first of all to get this far in the story and to be next to Luffy against the antagonist of the series, I will go hoarse from yelling. I will be so infuriated because he doesn't deserve it.
Think about it this way. Blackbeard and Kuzan are direct counters to Luffy and Jinbei power-wise.
I hate this.
You can't use your devil fruit because of Blackbeard's fruit, and you can't use Fishman Karate because you could freeze the water.
I hate this because it makes sense. I hate this. I hate this. Curse you, Zachary. Ah!
If we are shonen battle coding all of this exclusively, it's the only thing that makes sense.
It does. Oh,
Jinbei has not earned that yet.
He has, and
let's hope that Elbath is his time to shine.
By his time to shine, S Shark, you know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Kill him, please.
By his time to shine, you mean Usopp, and only Usopp.
Only Usopp with a tinge of Robin, please.
I want the entire crew to fall into a time machine, into a time warp portal. And the only characters possible is Usopp.
Oh Lord. Well,
I want Elbaf to be like, obviously you need Luffy.
Yeah.
I want it to be Luffy. You probably need Zoro. Because Zoro wasn't in Whole Cake. You can cut Sanji.
You need Zoro. You can cut Jim because they're gonna do it. Because I mean, you definitely
need Usopp, Nami, and Luffy.
Yeah, we need Robin.
You probably and Robin. So you definitely need those four.
Yeah.
If Zoro's in there, you also need Sanji.
Yeah, well,
because we have to relive Dory and Bragi and talk about their duel, have them fight about which one of them was actually better, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's how we write them off, is that they're off doing their own manly duel.
I hope they're off hunting giant animals. I hope so.
Yeah, maybe we write them off in the same way that we wrote them off in Little Garden.
That needs to happen, because big animals is funny.
Big Animals is funny, and then we can cut back to them every once in a while, arguing about which of their catches are actually bigger, and we can make a reaction panning shot to giants going, "What?"
Exactly.
He killed the king of the mountain? He killed the snake under the tree? Like, nonsense like that.
And then it ends in a big banquet of cooking all these beasts.
Yeah.
I like it.
Like, you could write both of them off.
Yes.
Doing that. I don't know, just those four are all you actually really need.
That's Chopper.
And then Chopper wasn't there yet.
No.
Chopper doesn't really have any... Like, Chopper talked to Oimo and Kashi, but he doesn't really have any, like, connections to the Giants, unless Monster Point is somehow connected to that. You think we're gonna get an explanation for Monster Point?
I mean...
You know, something that I wanted from Vegapunk, the Devil Fruit scientist?
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. But, speaking about Usopp, let's go to Van Augur.
Yeah, let's talk about Van Augur. I think Van Augur, in personality, Van Augur rides the line with Daku.
Yeah.
My man is like the Mendoza line of the Blackbeard pirates.
Yeah.
Unless he is on screen with Teach, in which case he is elevated to A. Because he runs this crew. I
love that he's elegant Usopp. Because he does everything that Usopp does, but he does it very coolly.
Yeah.
And then he's Teach's accountant. I love it. He's
as his own person, Van Augur kind of sucks.
Yeah.
As a Blackbeard pirate, Van Augur is the GOAT.
He's so cool.
He is the one thing keeping this group of hooligans running.
Oh my, he's so calm, he's so collected. The warp fruit is amazing.
Immaculate on him.
I love him with Catherine Devon because they don't talk to each other. He's like, I know what to do. Just follow my lead. She's like, all right.
Yeah. Like, in a vacuum, not a good character.
No.
But he is so uplifted by all of his teammates.
Yes.
And what more could you possibly want from a crew?
So, A,
A is very good for Augur.
All right. A
A for Van Augur.
Yes, sir. I also think it's cute that seems to have a good relationship with Burgess. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess from good to bad again. Let's talk about Wolf.
San Wolf has had way too much time in the spotlight. He has had way too much intrigue. He has had so much going for him to be as bland and forgettable as he is.
I like that his snot bubbles can be ridden upon by Vasco Shot, but the joke is just he's big.
And I like that joke.
It's a good joke.
I mean, I can't really think of much that he's actually done.
No.
If it comes down to him versus Wadatsume, I'd love that, but when Wadatsume joins the crew.
Oh lord. I like the implications of what he could bring, because maybe Frankie turns the Sunny into a big mech and he fights him. Or maybe just Robin turns big and fights him. I don't know.
Like, there's a lot of good that could come from fighting big guy. Like, Zora already got that moment in the sun. Thank the Lord he's not going to have to do that. Who do we mix him with? Yeah, mix him either with Burgess or Catman.
Oh yeah, Pizarro, yeah.
Pizarro. Yeah, gotta mix him with Burgess or Avalo Pizarro. Like,
it's big.
Yeah, him with Avalo would be very funny because big.
Yes.
Him with Burgess would be funny because Burgess could literally throw him.
Yes.
And he's big.
Fastball special, but very large.
Beach ball special.
Yes.
Like, the implications are there. Or, I don't know, maybe with the warp fruit would be kind of fun.
Yeah, because I warped my large friend on top of you, and now you die.
And then, what is a better vantage point from the top of San Wolf?
Exactly.
Like, you gotta mix Van Augur with him or with... I don't know, you could also mix him with Davon, you could also mix him with Valo.
Put him on stronger.
I'd say, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Put him in C. Put him in D.
I want to put him in D.
He's not good.
He's not that good.
I like that he hides behind buildings. That's funny, but like, no.
I want more.
Yeah.
And not in the good way.
I mean, the huge fruit is funny, but like, in actuality, let's just call it what it is. It's the canonical version of that filler fruit from the video game that then went into the anime filler. That giants have the mini fruit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the opposite of that, but it doesn't go anywhere. So I don't know what else does it do.
If we get him in a fight, it will be very funny.
It will be great.
Depending on who he fights, it could be very funny.
Yes.
If he fights Frankie, that would be great. If he fights Robin, that'd be good. If he fights Brooke, I guess.
Yeah.
Brooke could make a big ol' ice and make him slip.
Yeah.
Chopper. Huge versus Monster Point.
Yeah, I mean...
Monster Point having to punch up for once would be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Monster Point bigger.
Monster Point because of Lilith.
Possibly, yeah, because she's on the ship right now, so, yeah.
And then we have Monsterist Point.
Monstrous Point, and then we have Buddha Point. He becomes enlightened. Big.
But he can't fight Chopper because Chopper has to fight Doc.
Exactly.
I don't know. Maybe he fights Jinbei.
Well, he's fought with Datsune, so whatever.
What do we do with you?
Yeah. Why are you so big and inconvenient?
You are my least favorite son, but you're still S.
Yeah.
In the scale of the series.
You're very smelly, but you are my best boy. Speaking about someone who I find very funny, Shiryu is a whole comedy act.
Shiryu stays at S for Shiryu.
Because the fact that he is like Zoro and he has a mental deficiency in which he needs to cut people down, I find hilarious.
Yeah.
Moria wasn't on the island for 2 seconds and he had the sword out. I love it. So
it's gonna be very funny watching Zoro fight him.
Because the directionless swordsman versus the man that can't be found. Very good.
Yeah. Like, that is already extremely funny.
It is.
Especially if you consider Zoro, like, if you have Zoro and Sanji together.
Yeah.
Like, Sanji being able to obviously be able to find him, because Sanji has probably... Has Oda said Sanji has the best observation haki?
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously Sanji's going to be able to find him. But Sanji's not going... Like, Sanji's A, going to be busy. And B, he's going to be like, find him yourself, Mosshead man, whatever.
And he's like... Go on.
And then Sanji is going to have to babysit Zoro the entire fight. Because Zoro's going to go off looking for him and just be, like, a mile away from the battlefield. And Sanji's going to be like, oh my god. Now I have to find him, and he's going to have to jump into the air, and he's going to have to moonwalk, and he's going to have to look around, and then his back is going to be turned, and then Booze Man is going to be flying somehow.
Yeah.
It's going to be very funny.
Also, I love that Shiryu has Sanji's favorite fruit.
Yeah.
So there's that. Which is also very funny.
Like, there's so much potential with Shiryu. Just his existence is funny.
Indeed.
He's not quite stronger tier, but, you know, he's pretty good.
And I guess we're at our last guy.
The one we know the least about.
Yeah, he is interesting.
I'm putting him in B.
Fair.
I'm putting him in B until Oda gives me anything about him.
Because he is the navigator. He was a police officer.
He is cool.
He is cool.
I like his, like, he has the siren fruit, was it?
No, fruit not announced yet. We don't.
Fruit not announced, but he's got wings.
Yeah, so he's like a siren. He could be a harpy, a dove. We don't know.
He is the official 8th flying devil fruit.
Well, hold on. I do like how he correlates with Nami a lot.
How so?
Oh, they're both navigators. Nami was raised by a police officer. He was a police officer.
Nami's dad, Lafitte?
Well, no, it's Godzo.
Yeah.
What was it? A lot of Nami's attacks, especially earlier on, are bird themed, and he may be a bird.
That makes sense.
She even you remember she made doves appear one time.
It would be very funny if he had the dove fruit.
That's what I've been going with for years.
If you had like a symbol of peace on Blackbeard's crew.
Exactly. It's very funny. I like that more than speaking personally, I just like that more than like a mythical Zoan.
I mean, you would think that would be something like the albatross, right?
Yeah,
because Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, it's got a lot of the albatross itself has a lot of mythological connotations without even truly being a mythological creature. But we already have the albatross, exactly. And it's some big news. So Dove is easily second best. I mean, it's also got a lot of historical connotations with sailor stories. And theoretically, the first sailor story ever put to print, Noah's Ark.
True. Exactly.
Has some pretty major connotations with doves.
Exactly. So I mean, it makes he makes a lot of sense, and Yeah, I like that he can hypnotize people, which Nami herself is a bit of an illusionist with Mirage
Hmm.
Tempo. They kind of got that going on. Um, I like. Oh, and then too, you could say they're both performers. I guess
Yeah.
he's a tap dancer, and she has been a magician. And
Who does Lafitte fight with in the duos?
you know what's weird? He has a
Katarina?
It could be Katarina because he has a good rapport with everybody.
That would be a crazy fight. Two tricksters?
Yeah, right. Who's Owen?
Neither of them fighting Usopp?
True. And I guess who would pair with not? Well, it depends on who Catherine and Devon fight. Like,
Don't you think it would have to be Nami?
I mean, yeah. See,
If there is a token girl member of the crew, they have to fight Nami.
that's true.
I don't make the rules. I just say how it is.
True, but the girls have not always fought Nami. Sometimes they fight Usopp.
Yeah.
'Cause,
But then who's Nami gonna fight? Girls don't always fight Nami, but Nami always fights girls.
that's true. So, like, a girl would have to be in this fight regardless. Like, yeah, I guess in pairs it'd be Lafitte and Devon. I don't know who would be with Nami though.
I mean, unless Lilith joins. Oh, that would be a nightmare if you had to have a Nami face fight Nami.
I would love it if it was Bonnie and Nami, if Bonnie does join.
I just think that it makes sense for Katarina Devon to fight Nami. A, she could transform into Nami, that would be funny. B, Nami's the most beautiful member of the crew, and she hates beauty.
Well, wait a minute, hold on. Who said that?
Yeah, you're right.
What?
I'm sorry, Frankie.
I was talking about Brooke, brother.
Could you imagine if she fought Brooke because she's jealous of how skinny he is?
Put it to print. That's immaculate. That's immaculate. That's superb. Oh, I love that.
Just as like a surface level thing, it would make sense that she'd have beef with Nami.
Yeah, it doesn't. It makes
because a lot of characters like to mention like how pretty Nami's wanted poster is.
That's true, and she is actually posing for the camera.
Yeah,
like actively each time.
And it would make sense for a Trixie character like that to fight a Trixie character like Nami.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you could have, I don't know, Devon and Augur, though? That doesn't seem like it'd fit. But I would want Nami and Usopp. Ah!
So
yeah, Lafitte. I am interested.
Yes.
But we just don't know enough.
We don't know enough.
I mean, who would Lafitte fight?
I still stand on Nami, but we'll see.
Lafitte could fight Nami, that'd be kind of cool.
Because they're like...
Is Lafitte the Navigator?
Yeah.
That's
what I'm saying.
That would make sense.
Lafitte's the Navigator. Lafitte is the Navigator. He can possibly turn into a bird. Nami has summoned birds. Lafitte does hypnotism. Nami has...
Yeah, there's a lot of parallels there. And who does Lafitte fight with?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, it could be anyone.
Yeah. It's kind of like a Van Augur situation where it could be anyone, probably one of the big dudes.
Yeah, I would say a Vala Pizarro because he did threaten him.
True.
So that's cool. And then if it's like a Nami and Robin fight against Lafitte.
That'd be kind of cool. Lafitte and Pizarro.
Yeah, versus...
That would make sense.
Yeah, I like it. The cat and the bird, I guess.
Yeah. Ah, that's funny, yeah.
Yeah, right. Sylvester and Tweety.
Mm-hmm.
Versus Nami and
versus
Robin.
The cat burglar and Satan.
Well, the cat burglar and someone named after a bird.
That's true. Yeah, I didn't think of that.
And
wow.
Then we have Funny Zeus in the back. Oh yeah, flight could be possible in both. Yeah, there's a flying fight. Yeah, because Robin too sprouts wings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Robin doesn't need to, though, because by that point, hopefully Nami will be riding Zeus.
I hope so.
Because that would be cool.
Make her go.
But we need a Nami fight to get to that point.
Yeah, or more devil fruit shenanigans explanation, because I don't even know how Zeus works anymore.
Did Nami have a fight in Fishman Island?
No.
Oh my god.
When
was the last actual fight?
You won a one-on-one or a kind of sort of she was important?
Ulti doesn't count.
Cracker could count, because Luffy couldn't win the fight without her.
I guess. Let's not count Cracker for the sake of comedy.
Okay. You're in the mud, Cracker, like when you fought Tuzan. Cracker coming up frosty yet again.
Let's not count Cracker. Let's count, like, was Nami's last one-on-one fight Alabasta?
No, Khalifa.
Oh, right, Khalifa.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God. She's had 2 this series. Cool.
Let's see. It's that. Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's.
She averages 1 fight a decade. We're doing it, boys.
Do you count Sanji in Nami's body versus the shark?
No.
Okay.
Versus the shark.
Yes.
We are really scraping the barrel if we have to count that.
Yes. Yeah, Ulti doesn't
Is it
count.
really just Miss Doublefinger and Khalifa? Are those the only Nami fights?
Yes.
In the entire series?
I mean, it works because Robin is what, Yama and Black Maria.
Yeah, Robin wasn't introduced in chapter 2.
True. But she didn't get, like, fighting stuff until Alabasta, so... Has Usopp had more? Wait. No.
No. Usopp had Chu
Right?
and Perona.
Yeah, because Mr. Four and Lasso was a team fight.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I guess that's it.
Yeah, that's our tier list.
If you don't like it, too bad.
Make your own tier list and post it on the digital burrow for us to marvel at.
Exactly. And I'll make sure to comment, but I probably won't because I'll be making videos.
How many have you made this week?
That's a good question. I forgot. But I love you
I
all.
don't think you can count them on 2 hands.
Yeah, because I made 30 like 2 weeks ago. So. Oh boy. Well,
my man is on the grind.
Always on the grind. And thank you all for watching. Thank you all for liking, subscribing. I appreciate you all. Love you. And the bar's open.
Don't be dodgy.
We'll see you in the next one. That's the show. Bye. Goodbye.
Easy show.